In 1911, something unbelievable happened. The Mona Lisa got stolen. Not from some private collector or some hidden vault, no. Straight from the walls of the Louvre. And here's the twist. Back then, she wasn't even the Mona Lisa we know today. In fact, when newspapers first reported the theft, one American paper mistakenly published a photo of an entirely different Leonardo da Vinci sketch. It's strange to imagine now, but at the time, the Mona Lisa wasn't the global icon she is today. So, how did a single act of theft transform this relatively unknown painting into the most famous work of art in the world? Today we're diving into the story of Vincenzo Peruggia, the Italian handyman whose mix of patriotism, cunning, and luck turned the Mona Lisa into an enduring icon of art and culture. Meet Vincenzo Peruggia. Born in an Italian small village in the Alps, Vincenzo moved to Paris in 1908 to work at the Louvre as a handyman. His job involved cleaning and reframing paintings, and he even constructed protective cases for some artworks, including, as fate would have it, the Mona Lisa. For Vincenzo, working around so many Italian masterpieces stirred up a fierce sense of national pride. He had heard stories about how Napoleon had taken countless works of Italian art and brought them to France, stripping Italy of its cultural treasures. Vincenzo later claimed that this angered him deeply, inspiring a personal mission to return a painting to his homeland. And so he set his sights on the Mona Lisa. Now, historians believe he may have chosen the Mona Lisa for more of its practical size than for its fame. After all, compared to the other masterpieces like the Wedding Feast at Cana, which weighed over a ton, but the Mona Lisa was relatively small and light. But there is no way that Vincenzo could have imagined that just stealing this one painting, which was not even famous, will change art history forever. Peruggia's plan was simple, but it needed precision. On Sunday, August 20th, 1911, he snuck into the Louvre just before closing and hid in the storage closet overnight. By early Monday morning, exactly a day that the museum was closed to the public, he was ready. Dressed in a white smock, the typical uniform of museum employee, he made his way to the Salon Carré, where the Mona Lisa hung on display. Disguised as a worker, Peruggia managed to slide the painting off its hooks and carry it away without drawing any attention. But there was one snag. Once he'd removed the frame and glass case in a nearby stairwell, he tried to exit through a door leading out the courtyard, only to find it locked. After some tense moments, he heard footsteps and saw a plumber coming his way. With quick thinking, he explained that the door wouldn't open. The plumber, assuming that Peruggia was just a fellow employee, obligingly unlocked the door for him. And just like that, Vincenzo slipped out of the Louvre, Mona Lisa in his hand, on his way to the train station. He boarded the 7:47 a.m. express out of Paris. The next day, when a painter named Louis Birot arrived at the Louvre to start a new project in the gallery, he noticed the Mona Lisa's empty spot on the wall. Thinking it had been removed for a photo shoot, he asked the guard when it would return. After some confusion and a frantic search, it became clear. The Mona Lisa was gone. Within hours, the news broke. French police were on the case, and soon enough, it made headlines around the world. The New York Times reported it as a national scandal, while the Washington Post mistakenly published an image of another Da Vinci work, clearly showing how little people actually recognized the Mona Lisa before this. So, for a week, the museum and the police held on to the hope that the painting was still hidden somewhere in the Louvre. But as the time went on, it became clear the Mona Lisa had been stolen. Even the artist, Pablo Picasso, who was living in Paris at the time, fell under suspicion. But there were no leads, and for 2 whole years, the painting's whereabouts remained a mystery. And this is probably the most fascinating and funniest part of the story. For more than 2 years, Vincenzo kept the Mona Lisa in his Paris apartment, as if it was just a regular artwork. Then, in December 1913, Vincenzo traveled to Italy with the painting and contacted a gallery owner in Florence. He claimed to be returning the Mona Lisa to her true homeland, hoping for a reward. The gallery owner was suspicious, but he was also intrigued. So he invited Vincenzo to bring the painting to Florence. When the director of the Uffizi gallery verified its authenticity, they kept the painting for safekeeping and immediately contacted the police. Vincenzo was arrested shortly after. What Vincenzo may not have realized, which is actually really funny, was that the painting hadn't actually been stolen from Italy. Da Vinci had moved to France by choice, where he spent the last years of his life working under the patronage of King Francis I. Upon his death, the Mona Lisa had legally become the property of the French crown. So, technically, the painting had been in France long before Napoleon and was never stolen by him in the first place. Despite this misconception, the painting itself became an instant sensation, touring Italy through massive crowds before being returned to France in January 1914. In just a few days after the Mona Lisa was rehung, it attracted over 100,000 people. Her status as an icon was now officially sealed. Vincenzo's heist, which he insisted was patriotic, had a lasting impact. Despite his claim that he wanted to restore the painting to Italy, he tried to profit it by selling it. But his crime ultimately elevated the Mona Lisa as a global phenomenon. Till this day, the Mona Lisa is arguably the most famous painting in the world. She attracts over 8 million visitors each year, many of whom come specifically to see the painting they've heard of their whole lives. And for Vincenzo, well, he received a relatively lenient sentence, likely influenced by the Italian court's sympathy toward his patriotic claims. He served just 7 months in jail, later serving in World War I before passing away in relative obscurity. If you enjoyed watching this video, then I recommend you watching this one. I want to thank you for watching, leave a like, and I hope to see you in the next one.